20 years ago, Elton John reduced the nation to tears as he poignantly sang a reworked version of Candle in the Wind and a touching send-off to Princess Diana. The song is the second biggest single of all time after 33 million copies were sold. But what's the story behind the lyrics? We reveal all. What is Candle in the Wind? Elton John originally recorded the single in 1973 in honor of Marilyn Monroe, who had died 11 years earlier, after his close friend Diana died in a Paris car crash in 1997. Elton teamed up with songwriting partner Bernie Taupin, asking him to revise the lyrics to honor the princess. It was recorded at Townhouse Studios in West London and re-released as Candle in the Wind 1997. Elton has only ever performed the single once, at Princess Di's Westminster Abbey funeral, and instead uses the original version at concerts. He has repeatedly turned down requests to perform the tribute again, and said he never would unless asked by Princes William and Harry. The single became the fastest-selling single in the UK, selling 658,000 copies on its first day of release, and over 1.5 million in its first week. It is widely regarded as the best-selling single in the world, but there is confusion due to a lack of information on sales for the record's main contender for the #1 spot, Bing Crosby's recording of White Christmas. How were the lyrics changed? The opening lines of the 1973 version, "Goodbye Norma Jean, though I never knew you at all," were adapted to "Goodbye England's Rose, may you ever grow in our hearts." All the lyrics were changed to reflect the princess' life after her tragic death. In the original, the lyrics reflected Marilyn Monroe's turbulent life, which was cut short when she was aged just 36, but Candle in the Wind was kept, as the title after Taupin was inspired by the phrase when he heard someone use it to describe Janis Joplin, who died of a heroin overdose in 1970. How did Elton John end up performing at the funeral? Elton was plunged into a period of shock after Diana was killed in the crash in Paris on August 31, 1997. Just 1 month before, he had been comforted by the princess at the funeral for close friend, Italian designer Gianni Versace. Diana and Elton had been friends since 1981 when he performed at Prince Andrew's 21st birthday party at Windsor Castle and received a thank you letter from the then 19-year-old Diana. After her death, he was asked by the family to write a tribute for Diana, which he performed at her funeral on September 6, 1997, at Westminster Abbey. The singer revealed that playing Candle in the Wind at her funeral was surreal. He added, "What was going through my mind was don't sing a wrong note, be stoic, don't break down and just do it to the best you can possibly do it without showing any emotion whatsoever." My heart was beating quite a lot, I have to say. Prince Harry has since revealed listening to Elton performing the song was like someone firing an arrow through his emotional defenses. The prince said he was determined not to cry in public, but the song brought him to the brink. He added in an interview for BBC One documentary Diana, 7 Days, "Elton's song was incredibly emotional and nearly brought me to the point of crying in public, which I'm glad I didn't do." Harry said that time changed him, but he still cannot cry in public. When was Princess Diana's funeral? Princess Diana was laid to rest on September 6, 1997, exactly a week after her horror car crash in Paris. As many as 2,000 people attended the ceremony in Westminster Abbey, where her coffin was brought on a gun carriage from Kensington Palace. Although it was not an official state funeral, a full deployment of royal pageantry characterized the somber ceremony, as the coffin made the 1 hour 47 minutes journey from Kensington Palace to Westminster Abbey. Distraught young Princes William and Harry walked behind along with Prince Charles, Prince Philip and Diana's brother Earl Charles Spencer. The streets were lined with more than 1 million people, many of whom lay flowers along the procession route which passed Buckingham Palace, where the Queen was seen bowing her head. The coffin arrived for the beginning of the funeral ceremony in Westminster Abbey at 11 a.m., where mourners included the entire royal family, all living former prime ministers, and dozens of celebrity friends. George Carey, the then Archbishop of Canterbury, led the service, while Charles Spencer read the eulogy in which he criticized the royal family for their treatment of her. As many as 30 million viewers witnessed the ceremony on TV. A private burial took place later that day at Althorp Park on the Spencer family's grounds.